More outside the box tips. This time, steel wool. Steel wool is a marvelous material. It can be rough enough to scrub an engine block or smooth enough to polish metal to a high luster. It's flexible to work around objects and can be used to start a fire. In this video, we'll look at some of the uses and abuses of steel wool. Also, how to use it without getting hurt. Let's start with what steel wool is. Steel wool is made by shaving triangle-shaped strings from steel wire. Then the shavings are combined and woven together to make pads of steel wool. This process is used to make other similar products such as brass wool, stainless steel wool, and many others. There are different grades of steel wool that range from number 4, which is very coarse. This will even remove paint, to number 0, which is a fine grade. It's also known as 1/0, to 4/0 or 40 that can polish metal. Now that you know what it is, what can it do for you? You know that grill that is so gunked up, it's got grease and who knows what else on it, and you kind of wonder how safe it is to use that. Well, should you go buy another one? Move to a new location if it's something that belongs to a park? Well, you could always start with some steel wool and see if it comes clean. Steel wool is the main part of SOS and other brands of soap scrubbing pads. The grade is somewhere around the number 2 to number 0 or 1/0. This product comes with a scouring powder soap as part of the pad. It's impregnated into it. It's all through it. You can make your own if you have the right grade of steel wool and just add scouring powder. You want to wear waterproof gloves when using this because the steel wool can abrade your skin to the point that you're bleeding. Also, steel splinters are no fun and are a real possibility. This works on greasy car parts as well, and the outside of pots and pans. Don't use it on Teflon coatings or other coatings such as that. It'll take that off too. The finest grades of steel wool, 4/0, can be used as part of super cleaning glass. This must be used with soapy water solution to lubricate the steel wool so it doesn't scratch the glass. Windshields get a lot of grime, bugs, grease, tar, everything else that comes up off the road ends up on your windshield, and it doesn't come off any other way. If you've seen our headlight restoration videos, you know that we use 4/0 steel wool to clean the headlight lens prior to using the acetone to restore the clarity of the lens. This is important. We use 4/0 steel wool so it doesn't sand off any good coating that may still be on the lens. It'll just slide over it, taking away the bug juice and oils from the road. If sanding is needed, the coarser grades can be used, or just use wet dry sandpaper. Now for sanding, this is a great tool. For woodworking, steel wool can be used in place of sandpaper for many things, especially with complex shapes such as molding, corners, and carved shapes. The steel wool can work into these areas where the sandpaper would just not bend into that shape. With the coarse grades, it can remove paint, varnish, lacquer, especially when used with a paint remover chemical. The finer grades can smooth wood in preparation for paint or epoxy coating. And 4/0 steel wool can be used to put a final finish on fine woodwork, buffing it into the furniture or other woodwork with wax to a rich luster, not a high gloss. For metalworking, number 1 grade can be used to prepare copper pipes and fittings for soldering or to remove rust from cast iron. In general painting, the number 4 grade can be used to strip paint all by itself, or rust, dirt, whatever, to prepare for paint. The finer grades can be used to remove surface imperfections or help clean up after painting. Again, wear appropriate gloves to protect your hands, and safety glasses would protect your eyes from the sanding residue that may get blown up when you're brushing it away. Now, to keep pests out of your home, motorhome, or trailer or coach can be protected by stuffing this grade of steel wool into the opening. Wear gloves. This stuff can cut you. Now, with 4/0 steel wool and a battery, you can start a fire. This is a great survival tool. This is where caution is needed though. Steel will burn at very high temperatures. All it really needs is heat and air. The metal itself is the fuel. Steel wool has a lot of air in it, so all it needs is the heat. This can be from a battery, a torch, or some other source. Given enough air, the heat is self-sustaining, especially if it's bunched together. So spinning a burning pad of steel wool in the air will create a lot of fire and light and can be a fire hazard. So use with caution. Some people haven't, and they've burned up things. This also means that you don't store steel wool next to batteries or electrical circuits unless really your goal is to start a fire. Eye protection, hand protection, non-flammable clothing, These are all ways to stay safe with this survival tool. It also wouldn't hurt to pack it in a plastic bag when you're not using it. So what do you think? Did I cover a use for steel wool that you didn't know of? Do you have some uses of steel wool that I didn't cover? Leave a comment so we can all learn. If you found this video useful, share it with your friends. It might even help solve a problem for them.
Thanks for watching our video. If you like what you see, press the like button below and subscribe. And also check out our other videos.